Hi, my name is Tessa, and for the longest time, I thought my sister was the reason my life kept falling apart. But the truth? It wasn't that simple. Growing up, it was always the two of us, me and my older sister, Alina. She was everything people loved: smart, confident, effortlessly charming. Teachers adored her, neighbors praised her, and my parents, well, they saw her as their perfect child. And me? I was just Alina's younger sister. Every time I walked into a room, I could feel it. The comparison, the expectation, the silent question, why aren't you more like her? At first, I tried to be. I studied harder, joined clubs, even copied the way she talked and dressed. But no matter what I did, I was always second place in a race I never signed up for. And somewhere along the way, resentment started growing. Not loud, not obvious, just quiet and heavy. Things really started changing when I got to high school. For once, I thought I could build something that was mine, a fresh start, a chance to finally step out of her shadow. And it worked. I made new friends, people who didn't know Alina, people who liked me for who I was. I even got selected to represent the school in a regional art competition, something I had worked so hard for. For the first time in my life, I felt proud of myself. I felt seen, and then Alina transferred to my school. I remember the exact moment she walked into the hallway. Heads turned instantly. Within days, she was already popular again. It was like watching history repeat itself. But this time, it felt worse, because now I had something to lose. At first, she acted normal, friendly even. She'd sit with my friends, joke around, and act like everything was fine. But slowly, things started shifting. My friends began inviting her instead of me. Teachers started comparing my work to hers. Your sister would have done this differently. Alina always goes the extra mile. It felt like I was disappearing all over again. Then came the real breaking point. A week before the art competition, my project went missing. Gone. Just gone. I tore through my room, checked my locker, asked everyone I knew, but nothing. That project was everything. Months of effort. My only shot at proving I was more than just her sister. I was devastated. And then I found it in Alina's room, hidden behind her closet. My heart dropped. I didn't even think. I just stormed in, holding the project, shaking with anger. "Why would you do this?" I yelled. She looked surprised, but not in the way I expected. "What are you talking about? Don't lie," I snapped. "You took it. You didn't want me to succeed." For a moment, she just stared at me. And then her expression changed. Not guilty. Hurt. "I didn't take that, Tessa." I laughed bitterly. Right. It just magically ended up in your room?" She shook her head slowly. "Did you ever think maybe you put it there?" That made no sense. "Why would I sabotage myself?" I shot back. But even as I said it, something felt off, because deep down, I knew something wasn't right. That night, I couldn't sleep. My thoughts kept spinning. The stress, the pressure, the fear of failing, it had been building for weeks. And then it hit me. A memory. Late night. Me. Exhausted. Frustrated with my work. Telling myself it wasn't good enough. That I'd never win. That I'd just embarrass myself again. I remembered walking into her room. I remembered hiding it, not because of her, but because of me. I had been so scared of failing, that I removed my own chance to even try. And instead of facing that truth, I blamed her. The next morning, I felt sick with guilt. I found Alina in the kitchen, quietly making coffee. For the first time in years, I didn't see her as competition, just my sister. "I'm sorry," I said, my voice barely steady. She didn't respond right away. "I thought you were trying to ruin my life," I continued. "But I think I was doing that myself." She looked at me then, really looked, and sighed softly. "You've always thought I was against you," she said. "But Tessa, I've been trying to reach you for years." That hit harder than anything. "I didn't transfer schools to compete with you," she added. "I came because I wanted us to start over." I didn't know what to say. All this time, I had built this story in my head that she was the villain. But the truth, I had let my insecurities twist everything. The competition came and I almost didn't go, but this time I chose differently. I showed up with my project, with my fear, with my truth, and I didn't win. But for the first time, I didn't feel like I lost because I faced something bigger than any trophy, myself. After that, things didn't magically become perfect. My sister and I didn't suddenly become best friends overnight, but we started talking. Really talking. No comparisons, no competition, just honesty. And slowly, things changed till I realized something important. Sometimes the people we think are trying to ruin our lives aren't the problem. Sometimes it's the fear inside us, the voice that says we're not enough, the belief that someone else's success means our failure. But that's not true. There's no competition in being yourself. No one can take your place unless you give it up. So if you ever feel like someone is overshadowing you, like you're not being seen, don't shrink, don't compare, don't assume the worst, because your story isn't meant to look like anyone else's. And the moment you stop fighting shadow, you finally step into your own light.